Good morning, friends. Let us check out the answer to the yesterday's question. I'd given you a very simple question. This is technically called as a capital rationing. Whenever you have a limit on your capital, maximum amount of capital that you can have for a particular purpose, whenever there is a limit, you can solve this kind of questions using a technique called as solver in Microsoft Excel. This is not a by default feature. It comes up as an add-in. So you should activate the add-in by going to the file, options, and then add-ins. So within this, there is a solver add-in which I have activated. Else you can go at the bottom and click on what? Go and then activate it. So since I have already activated, let me try to explain this. It requires you to understand linear programming problems, which you could have done in 8th, 9th standard. Or maybe 11th, 12th standard, whatever the standard mathematics, you should have learned these. Even if you don't know it, you can have a common sense. So I said that a company has maximum 4 crore rupees available for capital expenditure, and it can earn these profits from respective projects or respective stores. And the capital expenditure required is so and so. If I take a total of the capital expenditure, it is 5 crore 25 lakh at the bottom, but I have 4 crores available. So I have to select the proposals in such a way that my profit is maximized. What is my objective? Objective is maximization of profit. What are the limitations / constraints? Constraint number 1, maximum capital expenditure is 4 crore. Constraint number 2 is I can select a store or I cannot select a store. You cannot say, oh, let me open half of this store, 0.35 of this store, 0.69 of this particular store. That is my constraint number 2. So 2 constraints I have. Constraint number 2 is technically called as binary constraint. In computer language, it is either you accept that store or you don't accept that store. Matlab, you start the store, I can denote the starting of store by 1. I don't start that particular store, I can denote it by 0. So start store, you may have 0 or 1 there. So I say 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. I don't know which one I'm going to start, or let's say 1. I'll type 1 everywhere. I'll type 1 everywhere. 1 means I'm starting a store. So if I'm starting a store, what is a capital expenditure incurred? Capex incurred. So I just need a total of what? जो भी capital expenditure है, सबका total लेना पड़ेगा मुझे. But if it is 0, I don't want that to be taken in a total. So what I want is basically total where total of capital expenditure where store ID is equal to what? 1. I can do it through multiple ways. I'll give you 2 ways to do it so you learn some Excel function. So first way to do it, sum product. I say to the Excel, take the multiplication of capex, that is array number 1, and store. Inka multiplication karo. Capex into 1 is capex, right? If it is 0, don't take that, automatically it will be excluded, right? So this is one way of doing it. So right now it is 5, whatever it is, 5 crore 25 lakh 95,000. If it is 0 automatically here, automatically it goes out of the total. Do you understand? This is one way of doing it. There is another way. I can type sum if range. This is the range where criteria is situated. So range is range where criteria is there. What is my criteria? I want criteria to be equal to 1. Some range is this 5 crores of something, right? So moment I type 0, criteria will not be met, it will be same. So I have calculated capital expenditure incurred, but which one to start so that my profit is maximized? So capex incurred, and what I need something for what? Profit also. Yes, no. Profit also will be calculated by the same way. It is just instead of capex, you just need what? profit. So I'll use sum product here. Sum product of what? Profit and array 2. This is first array and array 2 is my store. So I selected. So automatically I got what? Profit also. Automatically this is taking a profit of store 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Am I right? This is 49 lakh. Now I want this profit which is in green color to be maximized and capex should be, which is in yellow color, should be less than 4 crore. Right now my capex is within 4 crore, but I don't know whether my profit is maximum or not. So I need to create a situation to the Excel. So I go to the data tab. Within that solver comes up under analyze. I click on solver, set objective. Objective is profit. Right now it has already picked the profit because my cursor was there. So I say set profit, which is J10, to maximum or minimum or a value of. I set it to maximum by changing cell. Now what should change? My variable cells are store. Am I going to open the store or not? So I click on that and I select this. Correct, samjha? If it is 1, I am going to open the store. If it is not 1, I am not going to open the store. And the real game is now here. Constraint. Constraint number 1, let me put up the simple constraint that my actual capex is less than equal to maximum capex. Did you understand? This is capable of being understood by anyone. Add. The second condition is the challenge. Here I have to type the cell reference here, this store. Am I going to open the store or not? This should be a binary number. The game was here. This should be a binary number. It should be either, bin means binary, it should be either 0 or 1. I type it OK. The moment you type it OK, the method should also change to simplex method. Here, there is a solving method. You should click on simplex. These are the 2 game points that were important in addition to earlier understanding, in addition to understanding of solver, and then you click on solve. So Excel says, oh, the linearity conditions required by this solver are not satisfied. It could not solve. It created a trouble for me. Why? My profit cell is a sum product of this and capex is some product of this. So I need to, my input cell are K2 to K6. This I just need to push it up. Fill it. So binary hai, and then I need to put up the another condition of capex. Actual capex should be less than equal to what? I can type the number of 4 crores. Am I right? I click on OK. Simplex आ गया. Solve. क्या बोला उसने? The linearity conditions required by solver are not satisfied. Just a second. In the formula, anywhere I have typed the somewhere, you can get it using this thing, GRG non-linear method also. It's a non-linear. You can, no need of simplex. So you can take a GRG non-linear, answer aa gaya. Simplex is not required here. That simplex would be required if I present the data in a different format. I click on OK. So now if I click on OK, what is the problem? Capex incurred is creating a trouble. What is the capex incurred? Capex incurred has gone to what? 5 crore 25 lakh. So let me check whether I have missed any cell. Maximum by changing the variable cells. I typed that equal to what? Binary. Logically it should solve. Just a second. capex incurred, it should not make a difference which formula do I use. Logically it should not make a difference as to the formula which I am using of. J9 should be equal to so and so, less than equal to 4 crore, correct? This should be binary. Solve. Abhi aa gaya. So maybe it was an Excel bug. It did not understood the formula of what? Sum if. God knows. This is the answer. Answer aa gaya. Problem was that particular capex incurred formula, whatever simplex method was I was doing was right, but it did not understood that particular formula. Which formula? Sum if is what it did not understood, because it might have been creating a iteration. So I have to use some product. So aa gaya. You cannot get a situation. So you cannot make another situation. So what is the correct answer? Store number 2, store number 4, and store number what? 5. These are the stores which you should open. Maximum capex is 3 crore 67 lakh. Profit is 64 lakh 23,000. You cannot get better than this answer. If you can get better than this, type in a comment. You will not get it. Bye bye.